Today's quick strike battle report will be the Mahdist War between the Mahdist army and the Allies. This battle will be played by these young gentlemen right here. And this is a quick overview of the battlefield. The British and Allies will be defending this town against the Mahdi army as they're on their rampage. Some colonists in the town that have to be protected as a secondary objective. Quick overview of the forces of the British: some line infantry, some cannon, maximum machine guns, a Gatling gun, and then you have the Mahdist army. Lots of stolen weaponry, so forth. The Mahdi army amasses on the border of the table, and they're in elf shape, getting ready to attack. The British and Sudanese troops set in place to defend, taking cover behind barriers, setting up their machine guns and Gatling guns and breech-loading rifles as they wait for the oncoming attack. And some civilians on the roof. Got another maximum machine gun set up, ready to go. The two brigades of the Mahdis, one on the right and one on the left, begin their move up. The British do some last-minute placing, preparing. Some of the British actually push outside the outskirts of the city. And we have the British Camel Corps dismounted on a small little ridge waiting. The Mahdis begin their moves. The Mahdis begin to take some skirmishing fire from some dismounted British. And as well, they get hit by the large amounts of troops coming. The British begin to get in line and get ready to pull back their forces that are a little stretched out too far. We have cavalry. Sudan cavalry starts moving, trying to make contact, but the Mahdis have a long distance to cross into machine gun and weapon fire. The British in range begin firing Gatling guns, cannons, disordering the front unit, quickly racing up. That small building in the middle is making a little point of cover for some of the cavalry to come. The British just using their marksmanship against the Mahdis. The left flank starts to slow down with some command problems, which happens a lot in Black Powder. Mahdi cavalry charges into the British. At close quarters, starts attacking. There's a stolen Egyptian cannon for the Mahdis that begins firing. British Camel Corps moving around, trying to get some more fire. They'll slow them down. This combat begins to go back and forth, back and forth. British cannon pushes up behind a building. More Gatling gun fire. The left flank pushes up, still slowed. And the British are able to rout and push back the Mahdi cavalry, disordering them. Continue onslaught of the naval Gatling gun into the ranks. The Mahdi's getting closer. Camel cavalry moving. The British continue to fire. Every inch of ground is gained in blood, and Mahdis keep pushing forward. Lots of disorder. British Camel Corps got stuck out there. They're disordered. Another British cannon on top firing. That gun, that entire game did absolutely nothing. It was pretty funny. Complete battle. The right flank's pushing up, left flank still staggering under all the gunfire. British disciplined fire keeps holding their line, trying to repel the Mahdis. The camel infantry for the Mahdis gets close. British stacked on top of each other, firing. Maximum machine gun, cannon. You have the colonist civilians cowering on top of the building as this giant horde. The cavalry for the Mahdis comes back in. One valiant effort to try to break through the British and Sudanese infantry. Close combat is swirling. The cavalry breaks the camels. Mahdi cavalry begins to flee. Let's see if this side can make any difference. And firing. And finally, the Mahdi cavalry cannot withstand the Brits on the line. They end up retreating. Oh, it's so painful. It's crossing so much desert under this gunfire. Front unit still disordered. On the right flank's doing a little better, getting a little closer, not as damaged, wounded as the left flank is. Mahdis trudge on. Some great command rolls, and the right flank gains so much momentum and starts charging all the way up the flank. That commander has a better grasp of his troops, and leadership is leading them. It's about to get bloody on the right flank. Left flank is just so slowed down from its gunfire. The Mahdis begin to attack, finally hitting closer. Finally, the full onslaught is able to be brought down on the British. Everything that the British have feared has just happened. Mass amounts of Mahdi troops clashing onto the walls, close range. Sword, spear, and bayonet. British begin to run. The Sudanese hold up, defending. The left flank has collapsed. The entire brigade runs off. They just took too many casualties. The British were able to weather them down, while the right flank is still fighting. Victorious, the left flank gives out a cheer, but the right is still much in battle, with ranks fleeing. The Sudanese hold out. Some Mahdis enter the city. The civilians are screaming. The British have to realign. The last remaining Sudanese guys pull back. The British on the victorious side begin to maneuver so they can flank a little bit as the Mahdis enter the city. One last ditch effort. It's going to be bad. The Mahdis swarm into the city, trying to take it. The British get online. One last ditch effort. Really close. The Mahdis are heavily wounded, and the British are able to break them. The Mahdis begin to flee. Very close game. The British were able to pull this victory out. The Mahdis retreat to fight another day. Great game. Nice table. a lot of fun playing with everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle report.